Hello. Wait. Good day. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are doing good. It's good to see you. Also, let me hit record so we can record the stream. I forgot to bring my water. Once I read comment on Facebook, someone asking a question about Archviz Explorer or something, and someone was guiding him to watch the tutorial of the guy who says like the hydrated guy, stay hydrated guy. And I laughed so hard. It was so funny. So I miss all of you guys. I hope you're having a beautiful day, beautiful week. Give me a second to stay hydrated. And another second to open the chat so I can read what's going on. I can see that the chat is appearing here. So any feedback you have on the live stream, on the academy, actually, it would be amazing as we go. Because once we are back, baby. Where is the chat? Let's pop out the chat. Oh. Let's put it on the other screen. There we go. Look at this. Now I can see it. Sonda, Xavier, and Javier. I hope I didn't say your name. Valibhav. I think I need glasses. It's good evening, guys. Sonda, Vabihav. How are you doing, guys? Ah, echo. Oh, sorry about the echo. I'm learning new stuff with production. I finally switched to the ability to mute music. Sorry, make it high for you or just for me. And yeah, so I'm learning step by step. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. So I have the Unreal sample project open because I always wanted to explore it, believe it or not. When they first released it, I explored it just a little, and then for a specific bug just on my PC, it never worked. However, I'm gonna put this on the side because there is so much to unpack. I can go from here. So this is, I prepared our presentation for today and the rendering machine just in case, our project just in case, our background, hit refresh, and yeah, this is too much. Live chat. I just want to let you guys know. You can actually find me on the academy. Like for the past couple of months, I've been fully focused on Cesium program that we will release on November, and the academy in general. So you may have seen the homepage changed, the programs changed. There is now the new training program on Blueprint. So that's what's up. I will share more news as we go during the stream. I don't want to bore you to death, but what I want to say, if you have any question, anything that is in your mind on Unreal, add it between brackets, question, so I can be able to read it just in case, so I don't miss it from other questions. I'm trying to write question, but I am unable. Yeah, just question, and then type your question so I won't miss it. If I can answer it during the stream, I will do my best. If I cannot answer it, I will take a note and put it for the next episode of questions and answers and comments and all that good stuff. So I go on YouTube, email, Discord stuff, and with my team, we collect questions. And I have a few questions that are interesting that we're gonna talk about. And yeah, this is actually a question. Look, it's here. So I just need to make sure everything is working and the chat is working. And I need to reduce the music a little bit, if you guys don't mind, for both of us. Or maybe just keep it just a little. Let me also close the window. Okay. Now it's much more sound isolated for me too. There's so much noise downstairs. So I just need to find my other page browser. Give me a moment, guys. It's been a while. I need to set things up. I hope you don't mind. So I'm just curious, where are you watching from? What time zone? What city? This way also I test the stream. Okay. All right. So I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. I have all is open. I'm good to go. Actually, yes, I knew there is a time, the timer. I take just a minute, see, a minute or even less, to tell all of you watching now or later in future that you can go to VR Division Academy. You can enroll in the membership. Right now, I'm not uploading videos to YouTube. However, we are uploading videos to the Academy, and we have our main course about Blueprint that you can take a look at. This is not for Blueprint. This is about interactivity and what is the future of Unreal Engine and Blueprint, which is, in my opinion, there is the lab. It's about digital twins and the ability to export our projects to all platforms, not just Windows, not just VR. So once you make your project in Unreal Engine once, when you plan your project as intended, when you design your user interfaces, so this is all work in progress now, and it's an early bird phase, and this is some of it is in the, oh, here, see, minute finished. I will go, finish. So just go to the Academy. There is free videos, there is paid courses. That's where I am mostly active. And this is a comment just an hour ago. So there are sometimes homeworks. This is a preview of what we're gonna get now. We have 40 lessons. Every week we have a Q&A. So yesterday we had live Q&A. We have our community. I can just show you that and I can cancel my minute. So I need to plug this in because that's where I have been for the past weeks and months, building the back-end platform, researching digital twins. There are actually amazing stuff here. We can talk about Cesium and Bentley later. That's what our academy looks like. There is and yeah, we have our meetings here, the live room. And yeah, so there will also be a space for all free members for the Cesium program, training program we're working on. So the best way to stay tuned is to simply just sign up to the newsletter if you don't want to enroll in anything, just so you are up to date, because we have private videos, private files, private things that we are preparing now. And hopefully next month by October, we will start slowly. And in November, we will go full ballistic and we'll see how it goes in December. But the future is super excited. I'm truly excited about Unreal Engine, real-time technology, Blueprint, interactivity, and perhaps in the next live stream, I can show you behind the scenes of a video on digital twins I'm working on, so we can discuss it on the stream. I will leave an offer for just one offer I have as in the description. Actually, I can also say this in the live stream. It's not specified here. It's specified somewhere in the in the fine print. Sorry, this is 3 minutes now. But for every student, for every license, you can invite your friends on us. So let's say, hey, this is me, Yahiya. I know 2 people from my friends, or 1 person, or in some cases 3 people. You can talk about it with us, and we can invite your friends, because this is how you can make a group, and we can finish the year as like group projects. So my plan is to finalize, create something beautiful in Unreal Engine together. And there is a sample projects that are in progress. So this is an apartment that you may have seen in the lighting lessons recently. And now with the team, we are turning this apartment into a mixed-use building, like a whole building. We built a whole building around it. Let me see if I have the inspiration. So now I finished about the course. This is coming for free soon, and let's get into the stream. That's it. If you want to be with more up to date with what I'm doing, I am in the Academy. I'm also looking into ways where I can live stream on the Academy for everyone and for our, for everyone actually. So that's the thing about YouTube or Instagram or anything. UDE. This is something I did a while ago, just for fun, 3D modeling in Unreal Engine. Since the last stream we did, I have multiple projects here. I don't know why that's opened. We can start with the first question, actually. And I'm just curious, is the chat working or not? Because it's the same messages I've seen earlier. So if anyone is here, you can guys say hello and tell me where are you watching from. And let's start a timer. The music is not loud, right? We were looking for the project. Yeah, this project is coming in the near future. It's still work in progress now. ADSD, thank you. So we're working on this. It's inside, outside. Imagine it. Archviz Explorer, but on steroids. Interior, exterior, all the things that you would imagine in an Archviz experience, in an architectural visualization experience. So yeah, this is all work in progress, guys, and I'm happy to go live today to share this stuff with you and to get started with what we have with your questions and all. And thank you for your confirmation. M Design, Michael, my man. Oh, you don't hear music? I don't know. It's okay. But I raised it a little. Let me know if you can hear it, Xavier, and thank you for the feedback. It's supposed to be playing here. Hey, Sam. Good morning, buddy. It's supposed, I don't know. Maybe it's too bad, the music. Maybe I should check it. My man, Sam from LA. Good morning, bud. It's good to see you. Pennsylvania, John. Hello, John. Francisco. All right. So the first question from last live stream, I think, or it was from the last live stream from Freezy Wizzy. He's not with us today, but it's okay. Question: how to animate a blueprint in movie sequencer. Example: I have a door that opens on a player entering the collision box, but I want to animate it or show the door opening in a video clip that I export. Thank you, Sam. It is evening here. It's 9:20. So if we go to our blueprint or one of our projects where we have blueprint, or let's be here. Let's select one of these doors and let's create a level sequence. So I'm going to cinematics, level sequence. How have you been, Sam? How's everything? Hey, Xav, Sam, the boys. Sam, I was talking with Exaf today that we're gonna do a live stream together, and you should join us, buddy. So let's talk about it. Chill the trio. So here, let's make it just test animation. I will delete it later. And if I'm not mistaken, we need first to add our asset. So I didn't look any answers yet, so I may make some mistakes. If I do, you can help me, chat. Or you can wait and let me figure it out. When we add any blueprint or any actor to the sequencer, it will be listed here. And if you don't see anything to animate, that's because we need to add tracks. And from here, from the tracks, you can see the components we have and the tracks and all. Now, first of all, we need some sort of custom event to fire the animation I have on this door. So this door, if I check it out, it's a sliding door that opens on collision and close. So let's get rid of these. And let's say I might miss something. Yeah, let's keep it simple now. Let's just play for the open. No, not the timeline. But the timeline can be something. So I wanted to try with the custom event. So there was a setting, but did it change here? Oops. This triggers what exactly? So we add events for now. It's been a while since I did this, and we add a keyframe. And that keyframe we add, we can right click, go to properties, and endpoint. We need to go to unbound and create a new endpoint. Yes, Sam, I will hit you up. For sure, my man. It's good to see you here. Yeah, staying busy, everyone. Muhammad Al-Mubarak, hello, hello. So this endpoint here, this custom event will fire up another event. And here, what did we name? We called, let's say, open door. If you search or right click to search open door, I don't think we're gonna find it. But if we disable context sensitive, you can call this from the actual class. So now we see the name of the blueprint and we see our custom event. So you can connect this here, connect this here. And if I'm not mistaken, I am mistaken, but this is will take us somewhere. So call an editor. I used this before to change like index some values, but for animation, I thought I wanted to try this first. So what I also want to test, would it in the editor print for us a string? Just would you print a string, sir? And let's switch to the default mode. There is none here. Should I play the animation by clicking on simulate? Yeah, we know it's firing. So when we click on simulate, so this is one way to debug. You can simulate and you can see what is firing, what is not. Oops, it's not playing. It printed the hello. So when you don't see the thing, we need to select the debug. And we're gonna, now I have the, it was no debug selected. Now if it's, we selected our test anim, and if we click on play again, we can see it's at least firing. So we know at least this is a way to fire up events from the blueprint using the sequencer by adding like events, then right click or add enter, click somewhere, then add enter, sorry, add on selection. Geez, click on add new keyframe here. Ah, it's adding this. Okay, it's my bad. So it's adding this, so add enter to add a keyframe, and it will add this here. So there is keyframe here, and these keyframes, you can go to properties, endpoint, from unbound, quick bind, you can bind to your sequence if there is things here like you've done. So in our case, we already have our panels and we have access to its, we have, get out of here with your drive. Muhammad Abdulaziz, what are we cooking today? Hello, hello. We are cooking questions and answers. So I've collected some of your questions, guys, in a presentation, and we're looking into some of them today. So let's see. I recommend adding the print string to the custom event to make sure it's calling correctly on the event side. 100%, Sam. Let's do it. So let's do it here. Print.string, hello, Sam. And let's compile. And oh, did you see that? How many Sams? Hello, Sam. Let's go. So now we have that, but no animation is happening. Let's see, because it depends on how we are also animating our objects. So now this float timeline, these doors, how do you link it to objects? I should have tried this before the stream, but it's okay. So what happens when we add a trigger to the timeline? We add more timelines. And here is a normal keyframe, quick bind. Yeah, man. So I'm curious, it's supposed to kick off the timeline animation or kick this here, it should work. We know it's working from here. Actually, wait, maybe I forgot something. Let's just see what's happening with the debug. Let's make it bigger. Maybe I can try simpler example. Thank you, Muhammad. Let me put this here on the side. How about you, Muhammad? What's cooking on your end? What have you been up to? Is this your channel, Muhammad? I'm just double checking. Yes. Guys, shout out to Muhammad Abdulaziz. Amazing new channel on the rise. You may have seen the curtain material, really good one. And I didn't see this, Muhammad. Bravo. Keep at it, my man. So I'm very happy with what you're doing, and thank you for tuning in. And you can just keep it up. Let's be in touch as well. try to save me here, Muhammad. I'm cooking here the blueprint. So again, as I mentioned, looking at the questions by the community and trying new things. So it's interesting, by the way, when we click on let's simulate and let's play. So what's happening here? Yeah. So something is happening here, but apparently that's not enough to have your whole blueprint working. Is not enough. So what do we do? And by the way, I completely forgot. Is this the channel link? Yes. So we started with events. We pushed our custom event here. We made a custom event and we wanted to see if it does anything. Apparently not. That's fine. But what else we can do? So let's take a look. We have the timeline. We've added its own events, but I think this is kind of the same. So we have a timeline event. If you open it, this is the timeline event. And this is basically the same as this. But what timeline? Our timeline. So our timeline here is called Mr. Timeline. Can we, oh, it's just a timeline. How do we know it's our timeline? Play, set play rate. So play, can we just play? Target, self. I think because it's our timeline, right? I think right. So let's see. And let's make sure simulation is on just in case. Let's expand this and make it start, like, let's say from here. So to test the, see it's working. At least we think it's working. So target is timeline component. This code editor is checked in the custom event. For this one I did, but for this one I did not. So good one, Sam. Thank you for the reminder. Let's test. Should I always simulate? I think I wanted to do another timeline, print string, but after the timeline in our graph. Please work. Let's do it like that. Keep it funny. Oh, hello, 50 hellos. Every time, calling 50 times in the editor. So, do we see the please work? Oh, you see it's like please work billion time, but and that's billion call is kind of funny. Is it because I do this? So play timeline perhaps is not enough. What else? Play from start, and we have reverse. So we have the same events we had earlier. So it's changing. We set the timeline. Can I call my function? So this is a simple function I did to animate the doors. Or the door. This guy. SM door 1. Cast. Let's go to the sequence and let's see the components of our door. So we have this part. Binding, material. Which one is this exactly though? I have static. I'm just making sure I didn't add the static. Okay, so this one is this one. Oh, sorry, this one. Looking. Oh, wait. Please don't tell me I was looking at the wrong door. Oh my God. Oh my God. I was looking at the wrong door. Okay. Sometimes you cannot say it's unreal. Sometimes you can say it's you. In this case, it's me. Xavier, thank you so much. Yes, he is great channel. Muhammad, if you allow me also as well to say, he's proudly one of my students in the academy on my first course in 2020. So yes, Muhammad, as one of my students, you can make fun of me. You can totally do that as a teacher now. So yeah, guys, I think we got the first question. Technically, there were two questions, so I. This is so funny. Let's see. So we triggered one event, right? So let's see if we can add another key to trigger another event. I love the reactions that you're doing here. I can see them when you do this. It's very funny. Thank you. If you're enjoying the stream, guys, by any chance, if you didn't leave a like, or if you want to share this moment, clip it, do it. So this keyframe, right click, and let's create a new endpoint or see the binds we have. So get bound. I'm always curious, by the way. I always read around, look around. This is how I learn. And I recommend for anyone following along, is these are the first time you see any of these menus, just get more curious and see what else you can do. For example, like earlier, here, like there is so much. And yeah, they are all topics we can discuss as we go. So Sam, oh man, I have done this a million times, a billion hours of troubleshooting on something to find out it was just me, Lama. 100%. It's funny. I love it. I was like, what the hell is going on? Please work, bro, work. And I'm like, where is the door? Where is the door? I'm like, I am the door. And I'm like, oh, hello. So let's add the new bound, perhaps endpoint, because this is another event. And we can rename the event. So play, animation, and this one, let's say reverse animation. And let's say reverse. Search for reverse. This, since context sensitive is already enabled, is going to know that this is regarding our current blueprint, current timeline, so it will find it for us easily. Oops, not this reverse though. It's better to drag from here. So from here when you type reverse, it will be connected. Oh wow, look at that. It even connected the execution bin for us. So in blueprint, whenever you have context sensitive enabled, it also matters if you're dragging the node from this pin or from this pin or from another pin and so on. So let's look at the right door, make sure we're looking at the right door. Yes, this is the door, and test our blueprint. Let's click on simulate. Looking good. All right, so that's the first question here. If we go back, so how I animate a blueprint in movie sequencer. Example, I have a door that opens on player entering the collision box and want to show the door opening in video clip I export. So to recap, based on your blueprint and your execution flow, you can have a custom for example, open doors. So this actually you don't even need to have this. You can simply have your blueprint like this, and once you add your blueprint to the sequence file, so here we made a test animation sequence file, we added the blueprint, we add the timeline. So static mesh, get out of here. It helps you with the static mesh to make sure you're looking at the right door, and the timeline. So we just need a timeline. For that, I've added an event. So if I delete here, so let's go back. Now there is nothing, okay? Just my blueprint. So here, type timeline, if you have one, or its name, and then from here, event, trigger. Here we have our events, and here you can add a keyframe, or another, as many as you want. Double click that. Oh wow. I double clicked by mistake, okay? I'm just getting used to double clicking things. So you can right click, go to properties, and make a new endpoint, or happy mistake, double click that, and you have your happy accident here, the node, noise. And from here, if you have a timeline, because this is our timeline, you know, in the timeline we have play from start, stop, reverse, and all these things in timeline node. So something very important for me, if you want to see, like, if you type reverse or play from the timeline node, and look, where is this located? Components, timeline. So, okay, take this, let's go to somewhere where it says components, and then let's find timeline, and then start reading what functions we have here. This is the best way to learn blueprint. And if you have a question on some function, hover, and in terms of reverse, start playback of timeline in reverse. And sometimes it's like, oh wow, that's very useful, and sometimes, oh no shit, Sherlock. So it depends, but that's the process. And oh wow, that was 25 minutes of pure focus, as it's supposed, like, if you think it was pure focus. So here, because I've deleted the function, it's not working anymore. And here we've added our node, so you can search for reverse or play or anything, and that's it. So I saw this comment on an Unreal Engine important tip that I think, I don't know how many of you knows this tip, but it's an important tip. And it has the same question. Nice tip, one question. Do you have where we can do animations in the sequencer? Sequence timeline. So what type of more animations we can do? We can do the whole blueprint, not only fade in, fade out on events. Okay. So that short tutorial. And then give me a second here. Let me start this. Sequencer, if you'd like to add many shots. So let's say you have these 5 shots. When you click and drag, but normally it will add them like layers. If you don't want this, just hold shift, then release your mouse button, and it will add them to your timeline arranged like this. Also, if you want the shots to be placed exactly after a specific shot, you can place the playhead in front of that shot, enable snapping, so it can be easy. Now click these, click shift, release, easy peasy. All right. So, Behave, please, man, can you tell us more about virtual texture mapping? I didn't fully understand your question, but are you talking about when we have like 8K, 16K textures and we enable virtual texturing on them? Or are you talking about light maps, virtual textures, or if, sorry, if you can tell me more, I will see if I can talk about it, but I will see if I can leave it to the end of the stream or for the next stream if that's possible, because I kind of already prepared some questions. So I will answer questions, look at your question, between questions, so we will see. However, if you can tell me more, that would be awesome. All right. How can I animate route in sequencer? Unreal Nabil, can you make a lesson explaining about your render settings in general? Absolutely. So we're gonna talk a little bit about animating routes and path, and talk a little bit about render settings. My rule of thumb, to be honest, because it's really simple when it comes to render settings. You can get fancy, but fancy can get you broken. And I will see if I can show an example in a moment. From here, where do we go? We said animate route. All right. So let's say I have this project and I want to animate a route around it, but let me delete this project below it. So select these and delete. Hey, Nabil. Hello, Nabil. Yes, that is your question. Let's talk about it. So from the cinematic option, we have the camera rail and camera crane, and I love when we put both on top of each other. But if we start with rail, this is the easiest way to animate on any path, by the way, Nabil, okay? So we added that rail, press on F to focus, and I have the worst image that I have for a texture under it. So let me see if I can switch this to another texture. Yes, we can. Let me see if I can brand this with VR Division logo. Why not? I made this texture directly inside Unreal Engine, by the way, guys, with the texture graph. So it looks something like this. The output. Where is the procedural? I lost it. Oh, there we go. No, I lost it. Good stuff. Okay, so this is the rail. And the rail, as you can see here, it has a fake or like a virtual standpoint where our camera will sit, and a path. And you can, the path basically is made of a component, and it's a spline component, okay? So when you click on almost any blueprint, any actor, just in case, make sure you do this. So here you have the transform component, the spline component, and the rail component. We need the spline component. Press F to focus selection, and I'm holding Alt and right click to zoom in and out, or left click to orbit around. Now, the performance on my PC tanked for some reason, but that's okay. So now, as you can see, I will simply move my, I'll press Alt now and move my path around. And I can move it up if I want. So do something like this. And move this here. Move this here. I kind of messed it up when I moved things up, but that's okay. So let's say you have a path, and this path, it can be for anything. For example, let's start with an object. So let's get a shape, let's get a cube, nice little cube, and simply click that cube and drag it on top of your camera rail. But that cube, as you can see, it says, hey, your cube is static and the rail is movable by default. So we need to set this guy to movable and click and drag. And now we're golden. If it stays in the same location, maybe that's what you want. So here you have the location offset. And you can usually set this to 0, 0, 0. You can add the camera or a box or anything. And now when you select the camera rail, you have the current position on rail is set between 0 and 1. Okay? And if you change it, it will animate. And you can even set the orientation to follow the path of the rail. Oops. So I'm gonna press Ctrl space and go to somewhere temp. Yes, temp. I'm gonna make a very noise sequence here. Right click, cinematics, level sequence, delete me after. Now, let's double click and let's expand this and let's add this and let's add this and wait. Oh yeah, add to sequencer camera rig rail, and that's it. Go to track rail camera mount position. We need to find the current position on the rail. So we have components, rail controls, lock orientation on rail. You can enable it and disable it if you want, but for now we want the current position, and right now it's set to 0.2, which is the value we had. So we can change this to 0, and let's say we want 5 seconds or 150 frames, set this to 1, and if you play the animation, woo, it's following the path. Let's play it again. I hope, was this the question you asked, Nabil? So you can make the path as long as much as you want, and you can animate on it. Anything. So if you don't want this, you can just add a camera. Where is the cinematic camera? Add this on top, and now the camera will follow the path, but we need to set it on the 0, 0 location. Maybe raise it a little bit. And now if you animate, woo. So the camera, if you want, you can tell it, let's create another cylinder this time. Can tell the camera, hey, camera, you know what? And I'll tell you what. Can tell it, focus on the object that I want you to track. And it's like, all right, no problem. But then it will create for you a problem, because it's clearly this is cylinder and it's not looking at the cylinder. So what's up here? Let's take a look what's up here. So we have the relative offset. Yeah, maybe we can change the rotation and just make it look. Oh, can we? Are you going to keep looking? Tracking cylinder. Why it's not working? On the path. Let's delete the cube, keep the camera. CG Toon Studio and Parish. Hello guys, good evening. Parish, it's good to see you, buddy. It's been a while. Welcome to the channel. CG Toon Studio. What's up, bro? Look at tracking. Oh, wait. Manual tracking disabled. Focus. Ow. Yes, we got to look at tracking settings, and you look at the actor, and now, come on. Wait, do the animation. Reset this maybe. Make it 90. Yeah, it's trying. Is it trying? No, it's not trying, but it's funny, and it's a funny ride. I like the ride. It's like, wow, what's happening? This is teaching style we want. Cheers. I'm glad you like it, so bro. So relative offset, allow roll. Allow to roll. Can you roll, Mr. Camera? It's really, is it more fun now? I wish I was a camera at this point. Look at interp 1. Like just force it. Oh. Okay, guys. You need to... Sam, I think you made a mistake with your message. You need to write it like this. You need to add like 50 exclamation marks. Capital letter. Okay. I woke up at 5 a.m. and it's 10 p.m. So don't blame me, guys. I'm kidding. You can blame me. It's fun. Yeah, but this is what's up. So I hope this answers the question here, Nabil. Of course, you can do better path than me, and the camera will always follow the path and do, ooh, what's up? This is beautiful. I want to make like a game, you know, where the camera follow, like the Tycoon games. Do you remember, guys? And this beautiful roll, is it because it's rolling? Hello, hello, Naji. How's it going? I remember you from the Academy chat today. You were talking about Archviz Explorer. Okay. Nabil, let me know if I got you or no. So animate route in the sequence. Wait a second. You want to animate a route that appears slowly. Now I understand. Gotcha. Okay, Nabil, this will go for the another live stream. I missed your question here, but I'm glad you were here to correct me. So in the next live stream, we will learn about materials and material animation to animate a route. Is that what you mean? Naji. Yes. İyi akşamlar. Okay. If I understood you correctly, Nabil, I'm going to talk a little bit about render settings and keep things really simple about it and see if I have one of the projects I rendered in the past. Places, render, old, render. Look, what did we see? Some old render. Oof, it's in the archive. So where is the other old renders? Once, long story short, guys. So if you want to render, we want to use the movie render queue. Archviz Explorer route. Okay. So let's move your question from this page. So Control X to this page. And let's see if I can tackle it again, because I have all these questions about Archviz Explorer. And Naji, yes, if you have any questions on Archviz Explorer, you can ask on the stream. And welcome. Welcome to all of you guys. All right. I don't think you will not have the movie render queue not enabled by default, but just in case, you want, if you don't see this button, or if you go to Window, Cinematics, you do not see the movie render queue, go to Plugins, and plugins can be found under Edit, Plugins, and search Movie RE. That's enough. And we're gonna find the movie render queue. Okay, so if you type render queue or movie render queue or movie RE, Resident Evil, you're gonna find it, enable it, restart the engine, and you can even enable additional render passes. But these are a topic for future, perhaps, or more advanced settings, or like, well, it's more advanced settings, but it's like depending on the use case scenario. Now, once we click on here, render this movie to a video or image or frame or sequence. I just remembered I recorded an amazing video a while ago, but it needs more montage. From the good old days of where we worked on the cinematics together, Sam, where we had to render the thousands and thousands of images. I think on a live stream we can talk on rendering Sam together. If you're still here, what do you think? To remember the old days. So here with the movie render queue, we have our settings, and it's crucial to, once we set up our settings, to be able to have presets. So if there is something I learned, Sam, from our project in the past is to have presets. And now I have these presets on this project and many presets in another places. Yeah. And the output, and I'm just reading your messages. That's what I love. Oh man, yeah, you have things to say. You have indeed, my man. I look forward for that soon, really, man. I'm glad you showed up today. It's gonna be fun next time. So when we open the movie render queue, we have multiple columns that we can modify if you want, but who did this? If you've ever modified your columns here and you are in the chat, let me know. I'm curious. So we have the job, name of it, the settings that we can choose for different jobs, but usually one setting for all jobs. It depends. And then the output. And once you add all your cinematic shots, so let's say if I want to see in my project if there is more shots, just so we can demonstrate a point. Let's say you've added your shots, you saved your settings, life is good, but the engine crashed and you don't want to add your shots over and over and over and over again. You can save this job, all of it, the whole queue, by going here where it says unsaved queue. You can save this. See here, I have orthographic stills. I can load this to show you an example. And yeah, so let me click here and load. No, don't overwrite. How do I load the queue? I forgot some. So let's search for orthographic. Where is my queue? The changes. This queue will be gone. Yeah, no problem. So see here, I have like a render queue. I have my settings and I have the output and so on. And the output is like based on file date name. What is it here? I think it got, yeah. So if I click here and this preset, if usually when you add any new render, it doesn't have a preset. It's usually like there is no configuration, right? So if I open this configuration here, you can see I have EXR, deferred rendering, path tracing, anti-aliasing. I have these settings. But by default, you don't have these. By default, you have this. You have JPEG, deferred rendering, and the default output that will save under your project directory, under saved, under movie render, and then your image sequence. You're gonna see the sequence name, which is the sequence name, to be very specific. This is the name of the file, then the frame number, and then JPEG if it's JPEG, and so on. Give me just a few minutes, guys. I'm going to finish this section here on the renders, and then I'm gonna read the chat. Okay. So if you want to talk about settings here, we have 3 sections. We have export, we have rendering, and we have the settings. In terms of export, you can define the extensions you want to save. So you can save under here, exports, PMB if you want, EXR, PNG, WAVE. If you have audio, if you're using meta sounds, for example, command line encoder, and XML if you want to export your timeline. So that's also possible. EXR is the most common for the final renders, especially if you use something like DaVinci Resolve, but you need to be like little familiar with color grading and linear workflow versus RGBA versus ACs. So keep it simple. If you're a beginner, use JPEG or PNG for like full control over your renders, like the full spectrum of colors of the settings. You have EXR. I use DAWA. It has like nice, it retained the full quality and it's like good in terms of file size. I don't save in PNG. I prefer to save in DAWA, but still, I didn't start using Unreal Engine using EXR. No, I've exported almost all my life good old JPEG 4K, good old renders with DaVinci, so anything works. When you go with other things like EXR or something, just make sure you have space and make sure it's for a good purpose so you don't waste your time. The biggest mistake anyone can ever make is rendering at high quality, high file size, high whatever settings at the start of your project. The best thing you can do is to use the default settings and see how good your project looks, how fast it renders, and that's the point. So for me, I have like high quality settings for specific things, but these are at the very, very end where I'm going to sleep and I'm gonna let my computer render. And it's like after I finish the music production, the video editing, all that, I save a JPEG, and then in DaVinci Resolve, I replace the files. Perhaps we can dive in more depth on that in future. But yeah, so we have the exports, we have the settings, and we have what are we going to render. So if you want to use path tracing, for example, you can simply click path tracing here. You can keep deferred rendering enabled, or you can keep no path tracing. And now, if we click on accept, it will take a few seconds to minutes to render a path traced image that will look like this, like this, okay? Which is almost identical to Lumen. But from here, you can render path traced videos. In terms of settings, the main setting you want to care about is the anti-aliasing and the console variables. Sorry, the anti-aliasing usually try 4x4 or so, like keep it as low as possible. I even sometimes export without anti-aliasing, but if I want to start, I go like anti-aliasing 4x4 or 8x1. I need to go in more depth on like what spatial sample count and temporal, but I really did not. I just eyeball it, and as I mentioned, I go with the lowest settings. I save in 4K at the very end, and when I want to increase anything, I increase it. And one thing I do, instead of like, let's say anti-aliasing or anti-aliasing, I usually like 90% of my projects is simple anti-aliasing and very simple console variables that says the following. Especially if I'm rendering at 1920 1080, which is also what I render in the most, but slowly going to 4K for higher YouTube videos. But from here, so yeah, you can even save your presets if you don't want to rate your variables every single time. And R screen percentage, so this is one we use a lot. And the default one, like when rendering, is 100, but you can set it to 200. It will render at 200, double the scale, and then it will scale it back to what you have here. And you will get a crisper image. It will take longer. You should have a beefy GPU. So these are the things about these settings. What I really also need to emphasize on is how you save and where you save and how you name your files. So the output directory, it's important, for example, to have a special folder for just your renders, and then you can save by date or by project name or something, and the same for file name. File name, you need to describe your shot. You can describe the lighting, the camera lens, the type of shot, especially if you are in the habit. So let me show you portfolio, very old examples. Let me see, quickly, how I render some of my projects. So this is an old course. I'm trying to find it. The one I did last year. So we are upgrading this course again this year. And you may have seen my cinematic. So let's quickly open YouTube. VR Division. Any of the cinematics on the channel, like on the course announcements or here, like when you see like a cinematic render like here, or depending on the, or here, for example, there are so many cool cinematic shots. These are my settings. And when I save my shots and I save like as EXR or PNG or whatever, I import in DaVinci Resolve, I do the color correction, and then I archive them in the following. As a shot, it's 5 seconds, 6 second shot. I can open at any time in the future and with any project, and I can put any music, and I can mix many projects, many shots, and keep coming up with content. And that's the main selling point when you're talking with people in the architecture or anything that's using Unreal Engine. Hey, you have endless content. And especially in architecture or real estate, you want the ability to generate as many images. So yeah, and also for you, for as an artist, when you finish a project, it's a good, like, this is one practice you can steal from me because I stole it from someone or develop, I don't know, but have like still renders. What is this? This is normal vertical, but in some other folders I have just one by one, or I have the good old vertical shots. So because Instagram stories or reels, you know, look, these settings, I noticed something very funny. When I reduce the anti-aliasing or lumen settings, they would disappear. However, if you don't want, I don't know if you can see it, by the way, but these flickers, I will make a live stream talking more about this, but going high with settings, with anti-aliasing, console variables, it actually made more problems with me and Lumen than it solved. So that's why I prefer keeping low settings. This was a very long answer regarding the question here, Sarah Muhomini, but I hope this helps. And for anyone who wants a really good tutorial, a guide on everything I mentioned in more depth, I guess there is this tutorial that you can see on the channel. With that being said, before we move to the third questions, let's read the chat. How are you doing, guys? I'm gonna now look to my right screen and I want water. I'm very thirsty. I had tea instead of water because I'm out of water. So maybe I take 1 minute break, 2 minutes break. Let me read the chat. Javier, I'm sorry if I say your name. Give me, maybe tell me, hey, you said my name, I give you 6 points from 10. Next time, do better. So I'm really relatively new to Unreal, and what I haven't found much about is optimization. That's making me scratching my head a lot. And this is actually the same question, Naji Al-Mufti, you asked, that the Unreal Engine projects in general are extremely big. Now, I will have a whole video or live stream just discussing and talking about optimization, Javier. However, I put the video somewhere where I had this exact same question. And I put somewhere a link that I cannot find. Wait, no. Yeah. Yes. CG Toon. Hello, CG Toon. I wanted. So this is exact same video I will recommend for you. So
Hello.
Javier, and for everyone who wants to learn about optimization, this is a really good talk, and I will touch on this talk and others, like other tips, as in upcoming live streams. And I'm gonna have some of my amazing friends with me in upcoming live streams. Like here we have Sam Kayer, the best Unreal guy. We have Xavier, and we have my team at VRD. So I'm glad, boys, I'm glad, girls, that you click on start streaming and say hello and chill together. So thank you for joining. Now, Javier, this video I sent you here, watch it and look forward for upcoming streams, and let's see how it goes. Good luck. Now, the main tip, if you have big textures, 4K textures or any textures, just try to compress them, because usually textures, they take massive sizes, like in term, because they are just textures, you know, they are images. Honestly, this is a massive topic, Javier, so I'm going to make a dedicated stream for this. And the reason, I already have projects where I have examples where I can show this is good practice, this is bad practice, and so on. Sai Vandar. Good evening, my buddy. So, hi, Yahiya, long time no see. Yes, that's true. And I'm happy to be here. And I'm happy to see you and see everyone in the chat and read the chat. I really miss this routine. So it's good to see you guys. So I came here working on different things. Is there any complete series for Unreal Engine 5 to learn from scratch? I want to start for Archviz and game development. It depends on what you're searching. So, like, I don't want to plug our academy, but I have to. But on, like, for example, you have two paths. You can make your own path by searching YouTube and like other courses and all, or you can join us on VRD Academy if you are a student. So this is the lessons, how you're gonna see them. And for any of the current offers, one offer is designed only for people who are experienced in Unreal Engine and they only want Blueprint. One offer is for exactly for what you just mentioned, on learning Unreal Engine from scratch to learning Blueprint and making things interactive. And it covers Unreal Engine Foundations, Unreal Engine for Architecture, and Unreal Engine in Visual Scripting, this one here. And this one here is the lab, is only for professionals who knows Blueprint, who knows the basics and all of that, and want to be involved with me with R&D basically. This is like the lab. This is also will be released as lessons for everyone after the main Blueprint and whatnot. This is where we talk about what's beyond making a project on Unreal Engine, making that project executable on Windows. So what's beyond that? So I believe like Unreal can be everywhere. So this is the course. And if you enroll, this is not a course, sorry. This is a training program. So if you enroll now, for the next 4 months, 3 months, we're releasing weekly videos on this program as of now. And this program, there are also weekly videos on Blueprint, and there are weekly Q&As on general architecture. So it has nothing to do with Blueprint. And this one too is also live training, live meetups and exploring technology and how we're using Unreal Engine and whatnot and so on. The main thing about this, when you sign up, you can invite 2 of your buddies or 1. It's on us. So 1 price, 2 people, 3 people. And this is valid throughout 2025. So all lessons we're gonna be publishing about this topic in the next year, it will be also here because you get, it's still work in progress, but we have our membership, and our membership is mixed. It's still work in progress. It's been a while since this was updated, but we're copying our entire YouTube catalog, uploading that back to the Academy in much more organized way. I don't know if I can find the page. Yeah, I can find the page. In much organized way, where every lesson have its own, exercises, takeaways, and since this is Blueprint, I want to highlight this, like my lighting plugin that I made with C++, available for free. So so that's the Academy. Just today, I saw this on Instagram. Let me show you. It's on Coursera. And the teacher there is one of my friends, is amazing guy, and the big fans of the channel. Let me just find Unreal Engine on Instagram. Yeah, so just today, I saw this. Yeah.
You're in the right place. This comprehensive program will transform your enthusiasm into a professional skill set. You'll learn the game development process from design to implementation using Unreal Engine. Start today to get hands-on experience in world building, lighting, sound design, and more.
Sorry if the sound was too loud when I started this. Apologies. But Halloween Woodsman, I love this guy, amazing person, and he also have a good YouTube channel. So I'm showing this here because I saw his name involved in it, and I'm always proud with anyone who is making lessons. I hope this helps a little bit with the answer, my friend. And if you have any question or anyone have any question, you can ask us on the academy. So payment plans, questions on the details of the course or anything, you can chat here. You can say hello, and I have this installed and I can talk to myself now. Oh, hello, Yahiya. So I'm gonna stop playing. You will find me on the academy because I love the academy. I love training, guys. I'm authorized instructor for Epic, and I'm like doing my best to keep on creating curriculums and things. And I have some amazing news, by the way, speaking of Epic in future, but step by step. For anyone who's also interested in learning, there is upcoming free course thanks to Cesium. I'm reminding all of you guys, another reason to go to the academy, sign up to the newsletter, so you can also be notified on our latest program with Cesium and the sample project. I will put a link to the newsletter in the chat. And I don't know if I can pin this. Yeah, we can pin it. So yeah, I'm really happy with what we're doing, and I look forward to seeing you always on the streams and in the academy, everyone. Let's continue to questions. So I hope this helps, Sai, and I'm gonna see the other. Come to the academy and you can see me on the academy if you have further questions. I'm happy to help. Naji, so in the last video, I was remembering the Explorer. When you hit read button, it showed the screen and the Explorer when it was round. We're gonna take a look at Archviz Explorer in just 10 minutes, Naji, where we have some questions and I can also address your question or ask you more questions about it. 3D Nabil, can we make CGI advertising videos in Unreal Engine like Blender? Hell yeah, we can. Let me show you this. So here I have this project and I call it VRD Rendering UE. And I have multiple projects that I can show you. First, I have video template. I think this is the wrong project I want to show you. Yes, this is the wrong level. I have blueprint video. I am working on the upcoming YouTube videos where I use Unreal Engine and the motion graphics design mode to put cameras, animate cameras, and all that good stuff. So, the graphic mode is kind of buggy in moving the camera around. It's not buggy, it's how it should work. But this design here, guys, I imported this in like 2 seconds, okay? So edit, plugins, CSV, no, not CSV, SVG importer, motion graphics design mode, and we come here, and it won't save an image, but let's try to see like what we have here. So share, download, let's set SVG, and let's download just the current page. Let's see, it doesn't work all the time. It depends on the shapes and things we have, but let's see how it works. So let's save it under the folder called delete. Yeah, why not? And let's open, let's get that folder, and let's go desktop, and let's go to that folder, and I need to find that image. I cannot find that image. Where is Mr. Canva? Yes. So click and drag the image to import it. And it didn't import the images. So this is a JPEG image. This is a JPEG image, but this is a text. This is a shape. And this is a shape. And it seems that's what's important. So I click and drag, give it a few seconds, click on F, and look at that. I love this guy. He's so funny. And this is, as you can see, it's a vector. So you have all the quality. So this is crazy. I am now like using Unreal Engine to train, to teach, designing first in Canva, the presentations, right? I have so many presentations I've been working on for the past 2 years, and slowly importing things in Unreal. And it makes also sense for me to use the Epic gallery and develop on top of this. And one room for doors, one room for windows, one room for interactable objects, and so on. So, yeah, import the Canva presentation here, or put the TV here, how to use it, put it on Steam for download later. So many crazy ideas, but so many cool things you can do with Unreal. And I was learning programming, Python, C++, and all that stuff, because what if I was able to like have a button here? Like you see this button, I learned C++ to make it easy for me to create lights because I'm lazy. I don't want to go here and find Mr. Light Mixer and make a mistake. Oh, it's not this guy. Just one button to add all the lights. So I started learning programming just a couple of months ago. And not every day, but slowly. So I love it. It's like, it's kind of makes you think in new ways. And yeah, what if I am able to connect the API of Canva to Unreal, to do a presentation, or UEFN, you know what I mean? So it's very cool. So yes, to answer your question, After Effects, no more. Unreal Engine for the win. Plus DaVinci Resolve. They work lovely together. Get out of here, Adobe. Don't take my files, please. Nope, you need to agree that we take your files and then we can get out of here. Yep. So yeah, Unreal for the win. And it's amazing for motion graphics. And I'm happy to make a fully dedicated live stream, if you guys like, on motion graphics, on how I'm using Unreal Engine to produce videos, and how I am using Unreal Engine to make cool visuals. This is the free apartment, guys, that I covered in the lighting tutorial. So I made a design on Canva. Let me show you here. Let me find it quickly. Package. Yeah. I made it even a brand template so I can modify it later. So I made the design, saved it. So Canva is also an amazing tool. I like Canva and Affinity. I took render in Unreal with Canva, you know, some effects, some guides, stay hydrated, and import that in Unreal, and put lights, put things, put particles, and all that stuff. Oop. And even like have fun with the texture itself. So it's like kind of I need to make it cooler, but I can show you also a little bit behind the scenes if I have it. Is it here? No. For another time. I don't want to get confused or confuse you guys. So did we answer? We answered 2 questions so far. Well, kind of more, but motion graphics for the win. If you're interested, let me know. For sure, guys. I'll be happy. Do you know C++ programming, Naji? I'm a very beginner. Like, I'm a complete noob. Honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm learning, yes. رحال أهلا. عندي مشكلة Yes, Rahal, but if you can write in English, because to be honest, I missed your message. I didn't even see it. Sorry. Alexander, so that's the renders your so that's your rendering cinematic. Actually, Alexander, wait. I didn't talk about my rendering settings, but yes, these were my rendering settings for most projects. Now, if there is something else, let's double check real quick before we move on to Archviz Explorer. So window. I sometimes use like special console commands and whatnot, but to be honest, I don't remember what are they, and they are special, like not the norm. Where is the Mr. Movie Render queue? If I have any preset. So EXR for specific, like this is one of many presets I have. Alexander, I don't have just one settings. And no, it's not better to turn off anti-aliasing. You can keep it, but don't go too high with anti-aliasing. Like I've seen people going 32, for example, or 64, or like really high numbers. I think it's an overkill. No need. Try without anti-aliasing and then override it and see how long it takes and if it's worth it. That's the main thing. In terms of console variables, here in this project, I have just the screen percentage. Sometimes I have things for motion blur, for some lumen settings, and more. So I definitely didn't give that question the love it deserves on the rendering settings, but I thought give like an overview of the process. There will definitely be a follow-up on the settings and the logic behind them, and maybe we can compare some renders. So it's a process. I'd love to talk in the topic in more depth if you want, Alexander, and same goes for all of you guys. So here, the game overrides. Sometimes you want to disable streaming. Sometimes you want to disable the game mode from the worst settings. So yeah, nothing really special about the movie render queue, like in terms of settings, because it just works. Like the renders you get from Unreal are good as they are. So all these are default settings, nothing here. So deferred rendering, detail lighting, lighting only. This I can add from here. Sometimes I just want to see the lighting. And so we have the rest, yeah. So I hope you didn't understand, like it's good to turn off anti-aliasing. It depends. When you want fast renders, really fast renders, yeah, you don't want anti-aliasing. But when you want your final settings, yes, I think usually, in most cases, we turn this on. But just don't go too high with the settings, and that's it. Enabling these two also to warm up are good options. But I think I need to do some renders and see like without warm up, with warm up, and so on. Okay. Thank you, Naji. Thank you, Sai. And thank you, Paulo or Bilo. Abhi, hello from India. Oh, good evening. It's pretty late to you, but hello to you. You are an architect. I love your work. Thank you so much. Would you suggest SketchUp or Unreal Engine 5 for modeling, and why? If you are an architect, 100% SketchUp, because it's an established tool and it's used by many architects. And when it comes to precise modeling and design of buildings, SketchUp is a specialized tool. Unreal Engine is more of an engine. I call it idea engine. So if you have ideas in SketchUp about buildings that you want to design, do them in SketchUp, export with DataMath to Unreal Engine, and assign materials, lighting, and whatnot, and see how they look. Now, when you have some errors or some mapping mistakes or, you know, things you want to do, it's not a bad idea. Actually, it's super encouraged to learn the modeling tools in Unreal Engine, so you can also do the modifications you want on the mesh. Sorry, just in case if there is something you need to do within the engine without going to SketchUp or Blender to fix it and send it back. In this scenario, sometimes it can be a flipped face, or it can be the mapping of an object. So sometimes maybe you would import an object that has bad mapping. So this mapping, if you want, you can fix it. It's kind of hard, to be honest, but you can fix it in Unreal. So this is a really hard example to fix. But when you have like a surface like a floor or others, you can do projection mapping, or you can flip UVs, or you can reduce the mesh count, the polygon count on your meshes, simplify them. So there are many cool settings here. Last month, I think 3 weeks ago, I did a live stream on the channel that is really good for complete beginners in Unreal Engine 3D modeling. I talk about the groups, the poly groups, like in Blender or SketchUp, we have polygons. But in Unreal Engine, we don't have polygons. We have triangles. So I talk all about that in the last live stream last time, 4 weeks ago. Wow, it's been a while. So maybe it's even more. I'd recommend watching that, my friend, Abhi. And I definitely recommend specializing in modeling within your tool of choice for your craft as an architect, in this case, SketchUp. And Unreal to fix the things you export from SketchUp without going back to SketchUp and then going back to Unreal and back and forth, back and forth. So yeah, they are both important. One to do the job, one to tweak and fix and visualize the job. I hope this answers help, Abhi. And thank you, and blessings to you too. Naji, I think it must become Flickr, so in 3ds Max there is a solution, so recaps. Maybe the light subdivided in low settings. Command for the Flickr. Yeah, there are some settings regarding the flickering, but the flickering in Lumen, when it happens, if you're talking about the image from earlier, that's because it's Lumen, it's the limitations of global illumination in real time. I'd love to make an upcoming live stream to talk about baked lighting, if any one of you guys interested. It's actually on the roadmap. Especially if you want to make a VR project or project that's optimized. Hydra, hello, buddy. Hello to you too. Have you played Detroit Become Human? Yes, I did. And just a couple of days ago, I was looking into game user interfaces and I saw it. I saw it here. I love the simplicity in their user interface, or like the neatness in the colors, or sorry, the shapes. Very cool. And the game itself, the environments in the game, the architecture in the game is beautiful. It's really good, especially in the city part. As a story, I don't know, like there are parts yes and no, but in terms of like technical level and visual, it's like it's beautiful. It's really good. Nowadays, I'm playing the finals. It's also made in Unreal Engine. I don't know about the Detroit, what game engine, but the finals is made in Unreal Engine. Not this. The finals game. And it's amazing. Fully distractible, and it makes you think like, is this really made with Unreal Engine? The graphics are amazing. And it's like super fast paced. Whenever I feel sleepy, I want to wake up a little bit, I go for a couple of games. People who worked on it are from DICE. Some of them worked on my favorite game, Mirror's Edge. You can see from the yellow and the tone. So I'm pretty happy with this game. What about you, Hydra? Do you play Detroit or the finals? And what about you guys? Any one of you guys here, all of you, gamer? Tell me about your games or movies. Thank you, Abhi. It's a pleasure. And I look forward to seeing you in the academy. Javier, can you use Baked Lighting and Lumen at the same time? That's a good question. Up until recently, as far as I am aware, we can use Baked Lighting and Lumen reflections. All right? So we cannot use both global illumination systems at the same time, but you can use Lumen reflections, and this was like a really requested feature because screen space reflections or ray trace reflections are very expensive. However, now we have Lumen reflections. I'm not sure when was the last time I tried it, and that's why I'm thinking about doing a baked lighting class, because the apartment I shared for free on our academy, this apartment, guys, we see here in the background, this was designed in the past for baked lighting. I fixed it for Lumen, but I will still teach baked lighting on this because I think it makes a good example. So you can find it on the academy for free, especially if you're following along with the Lumen lessons. Sam, lol, I'm still playing Starfield. Would you recommend Starfield? How is it now? And how is the game? Is it good? I'm guess if you're still playing it, I think it's good for sure. But I wonder what is the interesting part for it. I didn't phrase my question right. First, I love anything related to space. So I think it has multiplayer too, Sam, right? Can we kill people players? Take some spaceships? Is it like Fallout, but you can do... I didn't... yeah, I just saw the memes. Thinking of getting into Black Myth Wukong. Yeah, Abhi. That's a lovely game. It's also made with Unreal 5. I'm thinking about starting a channel where I play video games that are just made with Unreal Engine. But what if a game that's nice is not made in Unreal Engine? What do I do? Yeah, I want to get Black Myth Wukong as well, but a couple of days ago I just got what is it? The new game, not new. The game of the year, the overwhelmingly, oh my god, positive. What was? I forgot the name. Please don't bully me. I didn't play it yet. I heard so many good things about it. Number 3. Wow, I need to eat and sleep. Baldur's Gate. I downloaded it. I still didn't play anything yet. So I'm kind of stoked to try it soon. And the finals now is the favorite. And I love one of their levels. This level is so cool. The environment in it. But I took the worst screenshots I can take. Yeah, it's really good. I love the environment and the architecture in the game. And Jedi Survivor. Yeah, I played the first one. I loved it. Yeah, man, so many games with Unreal. I think it's worth it to make a channel. How to get into gaming career? I'm still student and interested in Unreal Engine and gaming environment. Asma Ibrahim. That's a lovely question. Maybe this is a good time to share the good news. No, this is my second week. Yeah, this is my second week. I got accepted in Epic Games fellowship in for making games. And right now, I'm literally learning from Epic Games how to make games in the fellowship. And I'm learning a lot about blueprint, interactive materials, decision trees, like so many interesting concepts. And my answer is to get into the gaming. First, you need to play so many games. So I'm kidding, no. Blueprint, visual scripting, Asma. If you have ideas for games, the best way to get into the like honestly, I'm not a game developer, but the best thing I hear from people is, hey, learn how to prototype your game mechanics before your game art, so you can have like a nice game loop, and join game jams. So my plan after I finish the blueprint course is to learn more about filmmaking and gaming, making games, sorry. So that's the plan for next year. So I'm happy to share my journey and to see you also, Asma, getting into the career. And the best thing you can do now to get into the career is to learn Unreal Engine. And you can get into gaming as you learn Unreal Engine. One thing important about this real-time technology is when you learn Unreal Engine, you learn the skills you need to work in games, to work on your indie games, to work on, to switch, sorry, they change it, to work on films, to work on broadcast, to work on animation, architecture. It opens the doors for you to many, many industries. And the same skills you use to create interactive, high-level quality environments or experiences for automotive or architecture or simulation, you can transfer them, add some score system, some enemies, and make a game. So that's I think my approach or my advice. And my personal approach, Asma, for me to make games in future, yes, I want to learn how to make games just to copy and practice. But the way I see it, for me at least, I'm learning how to build worlds. So I believe now I am good in Unreal Engine and architecture and building environments. My next step is to focus on film and TV and good storytelling. And I want to collaborate with friends, with writers, with filmmakers. So I build the environment, someone build the character, someone rigged, like by someone I mean there is already like one generalist. When you meet a generalist, that someone can do. Like a small team, you don't need 1 billion people. And once I make some nice movies, nice short films, I want to explore ideas about the games I want to make. And of course, I'm learning like blueprint and whatnot. And the moment I make, like, let's say maybe let's say just one, 30, 90, 2-minute second movie, like with a story, that's interesting, I think maybe that's the green light for me for a game in future, if I'm going indie developer. Other way is learn all the skills you need, like from materials to world building to lighting, all the technical skills, and find the game studio and join them, and maybe like join that game studio based on the skill set you have or they're looking for. Yeah. So would you tell me more about what you're looking for, Asma? Like why specifically the gaming environment? Is environment your passion? Is cinematics your passion? Are characters your passion? So that's also something important to consider as you go. And I hope this answers help. And I'll keep sharing my knowledge as I'm learning new things now. And I'm learning how to make games. It's my dream since I was 5 years old. maybe even younger, I don't know. Hydra, yeah, I've played Detroit over 8 times, wow. And I never get bored of it. And the story is underrated in your opinion. I love games that give us options to choose and do whatever we want and explore endings. Oh my god, it has over 90 endings. Oof, I just read this. Well, I need to try it again and take some screenshots. You know, one of my favorite YouTubers in 3ds Max, his name is Arimos3D, and he used sometimes to play games, open the game, and I don't know, maybe, yeah, he did sometimes. and just walk around and analyze. And like he's like, look at this texture, look at this building, look at this nice weapon. Let me show you how I can 1v1 that. But no, he didn't. He never do that. But maybe I would do it. So perhaps another channel for gaming, and not making excuses for gaming, but to really look at games, and just like we break down art, we can break down games and practice, perhaps create environment or something. And yeah, it's alright. Besides the game, I just like exploring. It's better end on the month when they need more story stuff. Nice. I love exploring too, Sam. So I'm gonna check it out. Thank you. It's basically Fallout in space. No multiplayer though, sadly. Let's see what the modding community will do. Starfield is massive. Have you ever watched an Indian movie? Correct me if I'm wrong, but what is the name? What was the name? I need to double check. Yes, I did. A couple, actually, a lot. But the most recent one I saw a couple of months ago, it's like 3 hours, 4 hours. I saw it on YouTube from Corridor Crew. I'm trying to remember its name. It is like about two brothers, I think. One in the government, one is not. It's like an epic movie. Do you recommend anything, Hydra? Sorry, Abhi. Sam, so I'm also thinking of doing some streams on how to make Bethesda style RPG in UE5. Oh, dude, hell yeah. Boulder Gate 3 is great. Ayo, congrats. Thank you, thank you. Yes, I was so happy. I love the mix that with I'm working on this concept of a short or like a film or a world that I call the Brutalists. I made this a sanctuary. This is underground on some other planet. So I'm planning on exploring more. Yes, RRR. Yes. I was thinking AAA. No, it's RRR. I saw it 6 months or something. Yeah. Some exploration and whatnot. You may remember some planets I did in the past. Yes, of course you remember. We also spoke about Star Wars together. So yeah, imagine what we spoke in the past together, these planets, these different things, and then, I don't know, ancient structures and whatnot. And the fun thing about this, it was prototyped in Unreal, made in Unreal, Blender touches, and then, yeah, it's a process. Damn, it's been 2 hours almost. So I think for tomorrow morning, I will continue with the questions. I'm gonna see the questions from the chat because anything I want to talk about now in Archviz Explorer. I'm sorry, Nabil, if you're still here, but I'm really tired and hungry. Thank you, Asma, so much. Sam, you should go for it, buddy. Your idea is good. And honestly, like, what I noticed about going live on YouTube, especially in game dev, like, it's a good habit. You get discovered and you get your project finished, and many people also learn and get inspired. If you have the time to do it, it's really good. Especially if it's like a project for you, and share like the dev journey or work on it slowly. Put the files on GitHub if you want to open source it, or your Patreon. You should definitely, everyone should do a YouTube channel, to be honest. Like, my goal is to teach people Unreal Engine and then teach them or work with them to become authorized instructors for Epic. So my goal is to see as many YouTube channels from my friends and everyone. We make a live YouTube channel with all of us. RRR, adrenaline on steroids. It's so cheap and easy and fun. Yes, the visuals and it was good. And I remember like many movies since I was a kid as well. If you recommend anything, I'm down. So Asma, you are an architecture student. Nice. So in your college projects, you tend to make cinematic scenes. Hell yeah. So you're passionate about pursuing a career in making dramatic environments for games. Thank you so much for you. Oh, thank you to you too, Asma. There is a book, actually, I recommend. Reality is Broken. If you want to check it out, Asma, I read this book, half of it, or more than half, and at the end I got bored. But as a book, it's really good. And it's talk about how we can make better games, like games for good, if you will, and how we can gamify life and make video games of it. So it discussed like RPG games, the greatness of games. So the moment you said something epic, like dramatic environments, I remember in the book how she describes hollow environments, the scale of the architecture and the epicness of like let's see, epic, I don't know, let's see, something like woo. So that book is really nice. It talks about like different elements of making games. I recommend it if you are interested in pursuing a career in video games or games in general, Asma, or even interactive applications. And the book also is good for anyone who doesn't want to make games, but for example, want to create something like Forest app, okay, but in Unreal Engine to gamify stuff. So there is so many ideas and things you can do in Unreal Engine. Forest app is, by the way, is the most random ideas. If you don't know this application, you focus for 25 minutes just like I do here, right? But here, when the timer finishes, I get annoying notification. Here, you get a tree. So you can choose between trees and whatnot and plant your tree, and then you can see your forest. Imagine a concept like this, but in Unreal Engine, where you add your tasks or timers and you see your forest growing. Maybe it's a multiplayer game where you give meaning to the actions you do in games or in the virtual world, and it reflects on real life. In a way, Reality is Broken, that book is like, it's about that stuff. It tells you like gamers hate reality because it's broken. Games is better, it's stuff like that, but it's a good book. Muhammad Baykul, will AI destroy 3D artists' works? Sooner or later, we will see industries being changed. We will see jobs being erased and replaced with new jobs, that's for sure. But how long it will take, or if it's going to happen, like AI that creates for you perfectly rigged or whatever models. If anything, as I see now, Muhammad, with AI in general, those who are already good 3D artists, they might and they will, most scenarios, use the useful AI tools that we are seeing emerging to accelerate our workflow. Like, where is that AI unwrapper? So we stop unwrapping objects, for example, or that AI retopologizer, right? Now, with the massive amounts of training we see, like, for example, there's Luma AI, is free to use, but I think most people don't know, and they don't care really. With all the captures we scan and upload, they train the library. So I really don't know, but I know we get paid based on what type of problems we solve. if you as an artist compete on making the service as a commodity, so someone wants pictures of renders just because they want renders, I would not work with them. If I don't understand the goal of the project and how I can assist my client in the best way possible so their investment is worthwhile, and if they don't help me understand their project, I'm not gonna work with them, because they will ask me for the lowest price, blah blah blah, all that stuff, and I'm not here for the price. I'm here to solve a specific problem with this technology, with this engine. So if you're saying, is AI going to destroy or take a lot from the architectural visualization industry? I'd say, yeah, maybe there is a chance. If we are easily able, like if we can easily turn sketches into renders, and it does the job of, hey, I just want to understand this concept better, then there is no need to spend many days making like the same job from sketch. But let's say the same house, the same building, they want a digital twin. And I'm gonna give you a homework, guys. This is a video I've been working on for a while. I've been extremely busy. It's been in the work for multiple months. I didn't work on it for multiple months, but I've been planning this for many months. And it's 1 hour lecture. It's about digital twins and the future. And this is where AI will become handy in analyzing data and whatnot. But what I'm trying to get to is, what are we going to do with our 3D skills as 3D artists and Unreal Engine and others? And despite AI is going to take our job or not, if we learn on top of AI, on top of 3D art, how to create digital experiences or digital twins, or like solve good problems with this technology, I don't think you will be worried on your chances or opportunities being destroyed, Muhammad. And it's, for me, I remember, like, I really remember when Lumen came out, and I made this meme. It's funny, but it's also true. Are you telling me after I spent 5 years learning about light bake and even more, now we have Lumen? I put it in the course, in the video, and it was funny. It went little viral also in the community. I had to make the meme. So I'm not mad. Lumen is better, but oops. Are you telling me there is a project I spent 8 months, the client is angry, that was in 2016, 17. They don't want splotches. And I explained the impossible, like, hey, Mr. Client, splotches are natural. It was just CPU light mask. That was before the GPU light mask. And they don't want, and blah, blah. And what I learned when I talk about this technology to new clients, I talk about the limitations. Yo, if you want a mirror, we don't have mirrors here, okay? We have many more than mirrors, but we don't have mirrors, for example, and so on. So as a 3D artist, as a real-time artist, who needs this service and who worth your while, and how is it going to be used for? If you kind of answer these questions and put on your portfolio some projects that are relative to what you love, it will help a lot. I got into many metaverse projects because of this fan project I did for Nike. And when I say metaverse, it might sound cheesy, but I talk about digital twins. I talk about real world companies with real world physical products, whether buildings or not airspace. Hopefully someday we get into the space, but close, aircrafts. So the past year and a half, I was extremely busy because we were working on digital twins in the aircraft industry. And this is massive, guys. And I have never imagined, when I made my first project apartment in Izmir 10 years ago, 9 years ago, that I would be working in different industries and like what Unreal Engine would open for me. So I also didn't imagine after 9 years or 10 years of learning Unreal and like the basics of Blueprint, like I'm gonna learn C++ someday. I always thought, me programming, get out of here. And now I'm like, so you don't know what happens. It's like the time is moving forward. The best thing you can do, Muhammad, is focus on your skills and your problem solving skills, leadership skills. All these are the skills we need. AI is not going to replace that. It will assist us, indeed. And yeah, thank you, Asma. Ha Hoin, good evening to you. So you have a problem with the materials when data math from 3ds Max to Unreal Engine 5. In Unreal Engine 5, it shows very complex, but the quality is not consistent with 3ds Max. How we can optimize it? This is one of the most common problems with data math converter. Hoyen. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Splotches give me flashbacks. That's so true, Sam. So, Hoyna, I believe you are also little new to 3ds Max. That's why you still have like a complex, or you're still like. I will tell you something about this in a moment. But what I recommend first is learning a little bit about data math and the documentation of data math and how it converts materials and the logic behind the conversion of materials. Like, I know this is a massive read. I think I should just make just one live stream just for data math. However, the reason like we have these complex nodes and networks of materials is data math is doing its best to convert the complex materials of V-Ray or Corona to Unreal. And the same nodes, the same logic doesn't exist. This is being solved now with Substrate. It's the future of materials. Like, there is what is the name? We have high-level shading language. That's the Unreal. We have OSL. OSL, I think, works with Substrate, if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Maps, textures. Open shading language, if I'm not mistaken. So there is support coming to this in future, or there is actually support and it's still improving, but it's all things that are happening behind the scenes with data import and exporter. No matter what you do, if you have complex materials in 3ds Max, they will look complex in Unreal Engine, unfortunately. Now, I'm trying to find one of the projects. It's not here on the other computer. Sorry. I should actually turn this off because I don't have renders. Okay, it's off. Okay. What I wanted to say, as you make more and more Unreal Engine projects, you will create your own library. So what I have here, this is a simple library. It's not final, or like this one of simple libraries. You will have like folder just for your materials. You're gonna have a folder just for your assets. So here, MP, marketplace assets. For example, here, these are assets that we downloaded online, and I code them with MP. So the first project will take you too long, fixing the materials and working on the materials. But the moment you start building your library of materials and material types, you will stop creating your materials in Blender or 3D Max or any program. You're gonna use 3ds Max and all these programs just to create your environment, just to create your project, just to work with data in general. And the materials you're gonna use are like this. So here I have the normal default scan line. This is not my material. So you will simply give it a name here, like Stoco Facade or whatever it is. And later in Unreal, let me see if I have, you have an option. So let's select anything. Yeah. When you select an object with specific material, you can go to select all of the same material. So at some point you can select all objects that are rock and change that, all concrete, all cloth. The best solution you can do, and really to save yourself time, is to export your meshes without materials. And this might be tricky if you have a big project, and assign the materials again in Unreal. Or, sorry, simplify your materials in 3ds Max as much as possible. I really need to drink water. Sorry. This is, see, here I have just the name of the material. Sorry. Nothing else. No textures, no nothing. Just colors. Each material have different unique color because we have color identifiers and we can change things like we have our own rules. In upcoming live streams, hi on, I will talk more about data math and the general Archviz workflow. However, for now, I hope my answers help you. And this will be the last answer I will take today, guys. For tomorrow or for the upcoming live stream, I will read all the comments on this video, like the live stream we are doing now, just in case there are any questions. And tomorrow, we will talk a little bit about, we're going to continue from here, from the third question. We're going to talk about Archviz Explorer, Blueprint, and move to the VRD Academy, looking for body. Yes, I will mention this in a second. So go to the fourth question, talk about modeling tools, and keep moving forward. Now, my pleasure, And let me also share with you this little read if you want. This is really, really useful to read. I learned a lot about data math and its inner working by reading this documentation. And here we have 3D Max, V-Ray, Unreal. There is a place that it talks about materials, how they work exactly. Sorry. I think this will be helpful as well. This specific link for you, hi Hon. This link here, I'm gonna send you this one as well. This is specifically for 3ds Max, and it talks about how it translates all things that are listed here, from geometry to cameras to meshes to materials to exposure. All right, this was what I was looking for you. I'll cover this in more depth in future, but initially, if you want to read this page I sent you to learn more about the inner workings of data math, I'm sure it will make your life much easier, and therefore you'll make more projects if your life is easier. So yeah, I hope this helps as well. And thank you, that was a good question. Also for everyone, this live stream and all live streams are 100% sponsored by us, by me, our VR Academy, VRD Academy. If you're looking for a place for this year and for next year to learn Unreal Engine, bring your buddies, all you need to do. So here I have a question. Hi, I'm looking for a buddy to enroll the course. Can you connect me with someone? Before, I made like, just last week, what is it? An offer. But I think this will be a permanent offer. I like it when people come and bring someone to study with them. So the offer is, if you want to study Unreal Engine, you want to study Unreal the foundations or the architecture or the blueprint, and this blueprint course covers everything. You can buy a license, contact us, we will create accounts for your friends, and every week we go live on our private academy at least once. Every day there is at least, sorry, not every day, every week There is uploads, 10 videos, 15 videos. I'm trying to do it every day, like 2-3 videos, but it's still work in progress. So this is the place for you guys, or for anyone who you know they want to learn Unreal Engine in Blueprint, they want to learn cinematics, interactivity. Next year in 2025, we will, once we finish the basics of Blueprint and the advanced Blueprint, and the basics and advanced, I mean like any normal architectural experience that you'd expect. If there is a door, it opens. If there is a light, it opens. So all things that are interactive, in order to prepare us for the next phase, which is digital twins. The way I look at how we are building projects, or what data is, like this is my own analogy now. I imagine like there is something called, I call layer 0. It's our 3D data, but it's completely static. It's just whatever it is. Layer 1, on top of our data, is where we bring these objects to life. So if it's a door, as I mentioned, you expect this door to open. If it's a window, maybe, sorry, bad analogies. Physics, time of day, like the ability also to have a digital experience, like camera controls and whatnot. So this is what I call layer 1, the ability to explore and interact with the virtual world we build. And layer 2 is the digital twin, where we connect the virtual entity with the physical entity through Internet of Things. So this is my research area for 2025. Right now, I'm still at Blueprint and I'm taking the baby steps, but our academy is all about architecture and learning Unreal Engine to build interactive experiences and interactive digital twins. So if this something interests you, you can join us, and that will be it. So this was the sponsor of today's live stream, and I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and I hope to see you tomorrow, where we will pick up where we stop from Archviz Explorer and keep moving forward. And again, if you don't want to be student, understandable, but you're excited about Cesium, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter, because we have massive news on November that you should definitely stay up to date with. And that will be it for today's stream, everyone. It's been lovely 2 hours. I swear to God, I didn't feel a single minute. It went boom, boom, boom. Finished 2 hours very fast. So it's beautiful. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you all, and have a lovely evening. Let me check if there's any final questions before we close. So Paulo, yes, Archviz Explorer, we're gonna do that for sure. Sam, it's me, you're invitable, buddy. Sam, yes, we're gonna do one this week perhaps, or next week. Let's catch up. I'm gonna go eat and I'm gonna ping you tomorrow, or when I wake up early morning if you stay up at night, so we can plan something out. I'm also planning one with Xavier, so this will be fun. What is the best way to make a city from zero? Ooh, that's a good question. City Engine, I think. PCG, procedural content generation, or like what's the common between City Engine or PCG? They both use rules and algorithms to generate words. Well, PCG is much more complicated, but you can learn procedural content generation, Javier, to learn about procedural cities. The best talks I can recommend about this is Spider-Man GDC talks. I love the game. I'm sure many of you have played it. And they also have amazing talks about building the city. So this is a really beautiful question, Javier. I hope I got your name right. And they speak, like, this is one of many very cool talks about how they define the city, define the rules, define the streets, define the facades, the areas, and all that good stuff. I'm not sure if this is the one, but I hope at least this can like be the lead first step for you in the journey of learning about cities. Yeah, I hope this is useful. Sam, thank you. Naji, thank you. Ejacular to you too. Javier, Paulo, Asma, Abhi, thank you guys all and have a lovely day. I will see you very soon. Ciao, ciao, and bye bye. And where is OBS to put stream is ending? Also, wait for it. Let's put some music. Stream is ending. It needs some music. Do we have music? Yeah, we have. Okay. Bye bye.